Hello and welcome. This is Lisa Harrison. Today is the 11th of the 11th, a somewhat magical day at the end of an incredibly intense week. But first, I just want to talk to those who only watch the trailers on YouTube and other platforms, who don't look at the community tabs, don't go to the website, don't get emails, all that sort of stuff. Please don't rely on just those if you want to stay in the loop, because I'm still getting questions about things that were announced via email and via community tab a month ago. But also I do and will, including today, make references to things that you may not know about because you aren't on the email list. So I highly recommend going to the website and just signing up, subscribing to the emails. Oops, we've still got loads of people jumping in. Okay, so getting to it. We talked a while back about how our experience here is becoming more and more personal, less and less collective. So I don't know how many people are going to relate to what I have to say today. And I know the specifics of how this week has played out for me were, in fact, very, very personal. But you may find that the themes were there for you. On Monday, I was reminded twice by two completely different sources about a video that had been posted 2.5 years ago that I'd seen 5 or 6 months ago, maybe, and had completely forgotten about. And on Monday, I sent it out via email because it was pointing to the 8th and 9th of this month. So, like, what was that, Wednesday, Thursday? And it was based on Ashiana Dean's information, which I am not very familiar with at all. I remember watching her initial interview with Kerry Cassidy many years ago. And what I did understand, because it was incredibly complex stuff, some felt right, some didn't. But it's just not something I ever pursued. I realized, and only recently realized or learned, that a lot of Lisa Renee's work is based on the same, on Ashiana's. So it's not something I'm familiar with, but it talked about the Fibonacci spiral being the part of the false inverted overlay over the top of what they were calling the crystal spiral, which is the organic. And that on the 8th and 9th of this month, they were splitting. And he used terminology in that video that took me back to conversations I've had with one person in particular, one of the members who's on this call, Russ, years ago, who kept referring to a snap to grid point. And he referred to this 8th and 9th as being a snap. He also referred to August 2011, which I had not heard outside of myself and Anelia Benz referred to as a significant point in time. For both of us, I do believe it was the 31st of August, the morning of September 1st, that I woke to knowing that the collective had split. And about a month later, she came out and said the same thing. And then we had a public conversation about it. If anybody wants to go back, you can find my interview with her on that specifically. And Monday, in amongst me sending out this email and becoming reacquainted with that video, the energies of this week started. And for me, Oh, my body went into a kind of PTSD overdrive. I felt like I was standing in the middle of absolute chaos and destruction all around me. My body was reacting. My emotions were reacting. I spent probably the first 3 days of this week just, I cried a lot. And I was so in it. It was like being in the middle of a war zone and bombs just dropping everywhere. My whole body was picking it up. Everything was happening. And the theme was death and destruction. But because I was so in it, I couldn't actually make sense of it until Thursday. I couldn't get out of it enough to see the forest for the trees kind of thing. The timing of what I talked about last week with the white dragon pearl put into the core, days before, essentially, this 8th and 9th split. I mean, it all just feels like it was all just dropping in absolute perfect timing and sequence. There was, oh God, I don't know how to explain this, but it was like the inverted universe was throwing absolutely everything at me to pull me off center, to destabilize me, to just fucking mess with me. It was insane. But in amongst it all too, there was the most beautiful, and this started last week. This started with even Alisha initially putting out her video for November, which she does one every month. And for her, it was all about these doors. These doors were presenting. She had 3 doors. And then Yon, as he mentioned on Saturday, last call, had the download visual of a glowing door. And then Darius woke up Monday morning from an OBE of seeing specifically a blue glowing door with a plaque on it that said opening soon. And this was all leading up to what happened this week. So there was magic as well. And even as traumatic and as chaotic as all the negative shit that was happening, it was also leading to epiphanies and insights that were beautiful, that were expansive, that were perfect. It was quite nuts. Some of the insights were very, very, like I said, it's all been quite personal. So there's no point in sharing them because I don't think anybody will relate. But the biggest stuff was, we've been here before in the sense that we felt like we were going to end it, fix it, whatever. And people made bad decisions. People walked blindly, naively, potentially even arrogantly into situations that just fucked it all up. And that we are being given an opportunity to correct those, to do the right thing this time. However, what was really clear was that there are fail-safes in place. If anybody looks like they are going to make the same decision, it's at a personal level now. You can fuck up again, but it's only going to affect your story, your path, your sense of accomplishment once you get out of here. It's not going to affect the bigger picture anymore. There are all these fail-safes in place. And if you don't do the job that you came here to do, somebody else will step in. this, it was on Thursday that I started to get some sort of clarity around it all, and I actually started to see the visuals, because I mean, you can imagine when you're in it, you just can't. But I was seeing myself. It was quite strange, actually. I had a complete 360-degree view, and
Hi, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you're interested in the full 1.5 hour conversation, link is in the description, and if not, I'll see you next time. Bye for now.